What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Striving higher every day. It's your boy Steven Davis taking over for Marvin in this portion of First Contention. Hola, senores and senoritas. Let's go, Ty. What's going on, my brother?
Salutations, everybody. It's always good to have you here, Steve. Appreciate it. Like Steve said, Marv's not here. He got into some Snapchat trouble with the missus.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's called foreshadowing.
Foreshadow.
But great show. We're going to talk about Draymond. We're going to talk about these politically active and aware athletes. So keep it locked.
Keep it locked.
We sport on deals, on court.
Steve, you're not on Snapchat, right?
Nah.
Well, someone who is on Snapchat, Draymond Green, my man, has to have had one of the worst summers for one person in ever, a long time. Let's see, there was the issue at Michigan State. You can blame him for them losing the finals, the Warriors. And then, most recently, he tried to send a Snapchat to, I guess, someone he was sliding into her DMs.
Don't press send.
And he posted on the story, which allows everyone who follows Draymond to watch it for 24 hours. Took it down after 10 minutes, but your thoughts on the summer of Draymond?
Draymond. Man, oh man. It's like this. You weren't even supposed to be here. But now that you're here, you looking like you don't know how to act, man. It's the summer of Draymond right now. I mean, all these off the court issues, they're gonna allow it to happen on the court because he's a bona fide leader, the MVP, pretty much for that team. But you're cutting it close when you keep doing, stupid stuff like this. I mean, I understand you trying to, get your little squeeze out there, I don't know, but you gonna post it to everybody though? Everybody?
Something I thought the Bears mentioned that was it made a lot of sense. Draymond spent all 4 years in Michigan State under Izzo of all coaches, and that's one of the reasons why you like to say he's a sharp player, he's mature. That's why he was able to transition from so well. Again, he's not really supposed to be a second-round pick for the Warriors, and here he is, but it's crazy because his record was spotless leading up to the summer, and then everything is just cascaded out of nowhere. And again, now, is it that big of a deal? He accidentally, put on a story. I've accidentally put some on my story, but at the same time, I don't send eggplant pics. That's just a no-no.
I mean, that's what I hear happens on Snapchat though. So,
well, the notion is that it can be deleted and no one's gonna know about it. But there's this thing called screenshots, and hackers are still real. Whatever percentage.
Yeah, D'Angelo probably got out there, froze his phone, make sure everybody can see it.
Yeah, D'Angelo, Laramie Tunsil. Long story short, man, if it can be either incriminating or a little embarrassing or a little seductive, something you don't want everyone else to say, it probably should not be captured on video or pictures.
Don't press send. That's the moral of the story. Herman Edwards.
I mean, the way his summers go, he could get that Zika down in Rio. That would just be the icing on the cake.
He could have waited until today. Instagram is now the new Snapchat.
Apparently. I haven't been on Instagram
So he
today,
could have been a little bit more viral with his Instagram followers as well.
True.
We sport on deals, on court.
All right, everybody, food for thought time. It's been coming to a head, Steve. We're all aware of what's going on out there, whether it's us talking about the hands up movement and the Rams player last year, the NBA players and I Can't Breathe, and now we're at WNBA, especially the Lynx and their Black Lives Matter shirts. We saw the ESPYs, your boy Melo and the Banana Boat crew. Most recently, Michael Bennett speaking about players using their platform to speak up for social change and injustice. So your thoughts on the situation as a whole? I haven't even touched on MJ and his letter and his donation.
Well, obviously it's a very sad atmosphere that we kind of live in America right now. Just the social injustices that are put upon black people, and the sad things that are happening, as far as killing black people as well as killing cops. I don't condone neither one of that. But the thing is, I think now is the time if ever, to really just kind of bring this to light and try to figure out a way to provide a solution, because we keep seeing these scenarios pop up, every year, and then there's a small support, and then next thing you know, we kind of forget about it, and then the next one happens. So it seems to be like a cycle. Well, to be quite honest with you, I'm tired of seeing the cycle. I feel like somebody needs to help to provide some change. We've protested, we've marched, and they've rioted, which I don't agree with,
sure.
but that has not seemed to resolve this situation. So I feel like some drastic measures are kind of needed. So I'm kind of applauding. I'm really applauding that these athletes are taking the stand and trying to do what they can and do their part, forgetting about their platform and just being very socially aware in today's age, which is something that I feel is needed. The bad thing about just like being athletes, especially being black athletes, I've kind of mentioned this before, is when you're an athlete, kind of similar when I was talking about OJ, when you're an athlete and you're a black athlete, there is a pressure for you to at least respond when something like this happens. At the same time, it's not on them to do anything, but it would be justified for all of the people that look up to them to see them actually wanted to be a part of the culture, the group of people, the Black Lives Matter movement, whatever you may call it, and just want to make a statement and forego any other consequences they may take from that, but just be a person, you know what I'm saying? Just realize what's going on out here and really just feel sad and heartbroken for the situation and want to help out. Like, I really commend the WNBA for taking a stand.
yes.
All the athletes on the team are doing that. I feel like this shouldn't just be a black issue.
It shouldn't.
It should be an issue that everybody just kind of looks at and just sees this is a disaster that we're going down in a downward spiral, and we really need to figure out ways to kind of make some changes. And unfortunately, in our society, athletes and entertainers are looked up to as one of the more prominent members in our society. So if they can make a stand, then we can kind of follow that.
And they are, but at the same time, it's interesting because sometimes the assumption is that when someone of that status, like Jesse Williams, when they speak out about something, it's like, oh, well, you're making all this money, you should be. But at the same time, if you really, like you said, be a human, care, show compassion. When something goes on and it's wrong, it's wrong, okay? Obviously, what's been going on with the cops, I mean, if we have to preface this, okay, again, not all cops are bad cops,
right.
Okay? Not all black people are bad people. Not all white people are bad people. But at the same time, when you see someone murdered on video and there's no repercussion for the cop, and we see this over and over, you talk about this cycle, this is literally what brought up the Black Lives Matter. It did not come out of nowhere. And again, it's not saying all lives don't matter. We're not saying black people are the only people who are suffering injustices in the world. But based off what we've been seeing since Rodney King till today, it's like whenever this happens, it seems like it's not a big deal. It's a slap on the wrist. They get back to it, and the cycle continues. So applause to everyone who stood out, and especially for those who have been more than words, but action. Mello in the town hall meeting.
Yeah.
Even the Game and Snoop Dogg having their dialogue
with the police,
with their police on the West Coast.
Yep.
At the end of the day, if something is wrong, it's wrong. Show some compassion. Don't get mad at someone for being upset that someone died, okay? Just because it doesn't affect your community, you don't know how it affects theirs. But at the same time, athletes, hats off, and it should be all of them. It's not just a black people issue, even though based on some of the videos we've seen, there's a lot more video out there.
Right. I think the whole thing is just trying to bring some type of accountability to whatever happens out here.
And
I mean,
there's
because
nothing wrong with a little accountability.
with our justice system that we have, it just seems like these issues keep popping up and nothing happens. And I think now it's just everybody has just reached that boiling point where we have to figure out a way to make sure that somebody's held accountable for these type of activities, and the situation is kind of resolved. So we know that this is not right, and that this is not right. So everybody feels like something is working, but right now it doesn't feel like that. So that's why, you got people out here trying to make a stand, and athletes really I feel like trying to take a forward motion, just kind of thinking about what Muhammad Ali just died and how the athletes were in the past as far as taking a social stand. Now is the time as ever, like I said, to really
MJ opened his mouth, and MJ never opens his mouth. You know, we can talk about, you know, the ins and outs of the letter and whether or not he really said what he should have said, but the fact that he said something means something because he doesn't say anything. One of the other GOATs, Will Smith, Fresh Prince, he was on, I believe, the Jimmy Kimmel Show, and something he said that was really great. It's kind of like marriage counseling. And marriage counseling only works once you get all the ugliness out there, and it's sad. And there's a piece where you're like, ooh, this is just really, really bad. But that dialogue needs to happen. It all needs to get out there. And then once all that's out there, it's going to hurt a little bit to see once everything's transparent, but only then can you heal.
Yeah, it's getting worse before it gets better, pretty much.
Yeah.
We sport on deals, on court.
Well, that's all we have for this edition of First Contention. Thanks for watching. This is going to be the last time you see Steve on the show for a while.
Yeah.
But he'll be on the podcast, right?
You're going to hear my voice, though.
You
What's the
gonna
guy
hear
still
his
going to be
voice.
around?
Share
Dun.
your friends. Tell everybody. Submit some questions. We love taking questions from everybody again. Like the video. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Check out the podcast. Any last words, Steve? What else you got?
Thank you, people. I'll see you soon. Oh, actually, I'll hear you soon. Oh, wait. You'll listen to me soon.
All you got to do is put an ish on the end of it. You'll be all right, bro.
Ish.
Trey's up.